This week, John ran into Trash, the guy whose life we turned into a vampire Thanksgiving movie.
And somehow Harrison's Santa conspiracy theory almost makes sense now.
It totally makes sense. Also, we've got magical banana hammocks, AI Santas, and more in our last Fast Five before Christmas.
Let's get into it. What's up, you merry beer-chugging cinephiles? Welcome to our last Fast Five of the year here on Beer Me That Movie.
The podcast where we're method actors who take our research seriously. And by that, I mean we drink the beers we talk about because science!
Speaking of research, Harrison, how much science did you conduct this week?
Enough to confirm Santa's real, and he's been using Christmas ales to spy on us for centuries.
Here we go again.
Think about it, John. How does Santa always know who's naughty or nice? Beer labels. They're encoded messages to his AI elves.
With that smooth transition, here's a quick PSA for newcomers. We're the podcast where beer names inspire movie ideas, and occasionally we uncover truth about Santa.
Yes, that's right. Which brings us to some big news. Yes, drum rolls, alerts, fireworks. So we are adding two new things to the Beer Me That Movie universe, or should I say, Bruniverse.
Actually, that one was pretty good. I like that you said that. Yeah, that's right, Harrison. So first up, we're launching a concept called Podception. It's a short AI-powered podcast robot that definitely is not Santa Claus in disguise, and it's going to analyze and review our past feature films.
Think Siskel and Ebert, but with an algorithm that's probably built a dossier on us. Perfect for keeping you entertained while your relatives fight over eggnog and Temu returns.
And if that's not wild enough, we've also got hashtag not take.
Oh, yes. So this is our boldest new series yet. Short video reviews of classic films where we dig deep into what they're really about. So deep, the director and writers didn't even know these things about their own films. Like how the movie The Santa Claus is actually a cautionary tale about the dangers of type 2 diabetes.
I'll have a Caesar, no dressing. And one of those homemade cookies, the warm chocolate chip, no nuts. And a little slice of cheesecake, creme brulee, and hot fudge sundae. Extra hot fudge.
And midnight snacks. Just think about it.
Actually, I mean, that does kind of track, Harrison. I like where you're going. And anyway, not take videos are only going to be about 4 to 6 minutes long, so they're perfect when you're avoiding that family small talk.
Exactly. Watch us take down sacred cinema while Santa's surveillance drones keep tabs on your beer fridge.
All right, now, enough about Santa's master plan for now. Let's crack open the Fast Five.
I thought you'd never ask. Let's dive right into last week's second dinner recap.
Second dinner? I'm still digesting last week's episode.
That's the beer, John. That's just the beer.
Oh, yes, the beer. Speaking of uncovering shocking truths, last week we tackled Second Dinner, a beer name that gave us a Thanksgiving story about your wild Aunt Carol and her fourth spiked eggnog.
Yeah, but at least my aunt's just judging my life choices. They don't actually try to drink my blood.
Poor Trash. All he was trying to do is impress his in-laws, maybe get seconds on pumpkin pie. Instead, he finds out that they're vampires who think he's the main course.
And he just happened to run into Trash again this week, right before we record the episode about his life. That's not a coincidence, John. That's Santa pulling the strings.
I swear, Harrison, it was so random. I was just grabbing my usual post-work, pre-work beer.
And Trash was just there, ordering a peppermint mocha with extra garlic?
No, he was actually asking about the podcast. Said he started following a lot closer ever since we mentioned we were using his check-in as a feature film.
I bet he gave you just enough information to keep us talking about him while Santa and his surveillance elves plot their next move.
Or maybe he thought our take on his life story was hilarious.
Sure, John, keep denying. But mark my words, Trash is in on Santa's master plan, probably scouting for vampire-friendly chimneys as we speak.
Anyways, going back to the recap, Trash shows up for Thanksgiving dinner in his best Hawaiian shirt, ready to pronounce the fancy Romanian last name correctly.
Only to find out Shkishkapansky Draculist is vampire for let's eat the guy in the loud floral pattern.
Classic vampire mix-up. Let's not forget the big twist. Trash's wife knew all along. Turns out marrying him was just part of their family's 500-year plan to keep the bloodline flowing.
Honestly, it was like Meet the Parents, but with more stakes. Like literal stakes.
And speaking of what it sounded like, Harrison, did we get any messages about second dinner?
Yes, we did, John. And the new reason I love doing this podcast is to hear other people's takes. Let's see what our good old friend Brian had to say about the last feature film.
Hello, Harrison and John. It's Brian just calling. I know it's been a while. I hope your holiday was great. Harrison got all the sweet potato casserole he could want. I finished second dinner a day or two ago and was working, so I didn't have time to get any comments really down. But man, I loved it. It was a little bit of 30 Days a Night, a little bit Ready or Not with a touch of the Munsters if they were actually scary. And thanks to John for bringing back Assed Out. Man, I haven't heard that since probably 1993. That was great. I have one question for you. As we're getting closer to Christmas, is it going to be a Fear Me That Movie Christmas special? Thanks, guys. Hope all is well. Take care.
Well, that's a great question, Brian. I guess you'll have to tune in to the rest of this episode to find out, but there have been Santa mentions already, and of course, leave it to Brian to key in on the assed out part of that whole movie.
I love the reference to the Munsters. If it were actually scary, I guess we wouldn't have been on daytime TV with crazy sex ants and, eating people.
Well, that and the epic family brawl at the end where Trash had to fend off his in-laws with nothing but garlic mashed potatoes.
Proving once again that the only thing scarier than in-laws is vampires.
All right, enough reminiscing about Trash's transformation into a midnight snack. Let's dig into this week's future blockbuster.
And with that ominous note, it's time for the beer of the week.
Like your favorite uncle, we're going to drink this beer and let it inspire us.
Alrighty. Okay, cool. So we're drinking again, per usual. This is also kind of becoming the unofficial Sierra Nevada podcast, which I'm not sad about. One of my many master plans. So this week we are enjoying Snowed In Winter Warmer Ale from Sierra Nevada Brewing Company. It is a winter warmer, as the name would suggest. Coming in at 6.5%. Hard to find a lot of info about this beer, specifically on the good old internet, but winter warmers in general, they are delicious. They're kind of like a wassail, like a spicy kind of nutmeggy clove thing, if they had a baby with a strong English ale. So, usually kind of darker in color, cloves, that sort of thing. Great for a cold night, even though we're sweating in my shed again in December, but you can't have it all. Let's dive in. So I'm gonna jump into Snowed In. We're gonna jump in, and
Taste is the best descriptor.
Taste is that. Ooh,
Taste is the paint of poets.
Taste is the. I don't know what I was gonna say. Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Oh, this sits really good. I love a winter warmer.
Man.
I didn't really understand. I just assumed it was like a marketing term to sell beers in the wintertime.
Sometimes it is for certain people if they don't know what they're doing, but yes.
You couldn't have said it better. There's no information about this beer on the whole internet. When Harrison told me this is what we were drinking, I thought he was kind of making it up, or Sierra Nevada sent him this,
Right,
but it's
secret
been around for a
special.
couple of years.
Yeah, they've done a couple different winter warmers. I think they've called it Snowed In before. I think they did a Snow Wit IPA in the past. Anyway, yes, they've done winter warmers before. I think they've done this one before at least once. It's good. I got it from Costco in their huge cool pack, which has a bunch of beers in it. And
The
now
fact that
we're
you're
enjoying
buying
them.
your beers at Costco tells me how dedicated to science you are.
I made it. That's right. I'm a real scientist now, John.
I checked on Untappd to see if any of our friends had drank it, and a lot of them have. The one I want to highlight comes from Alan H. up in Oregon,
Mm.
who nailed it. Clove in his check-in, he says clove, nutmeg, allspice, pours kind of dark, amber, little roasty, little thin. Thank you, neighbor Bob, for sharing, which is the
Ah,
best beer you can
I
get.
love that.
Everyone needs a neighbor
That's
Bob.
right.
And he
Free
said he
beer from
purchased it
Bob.
at Costco
That's
and
right.
had a check-in photo of a cabin totally covered in snow.
Just like, oh no, it's not on the cover of this one, but they've had a snow-covered cabin in the past. It is called Snowed In after all. Cool. Love that. Good stuff, Alan. We're right there with you, drinking along right now. And shout out to Costco for being Costco. And still the $1.50 hot dogs. They haven't budged. I hope this ages well. Protect Costco. Okay, but this is delicious, and but as always, it's not the beer we're gonna make a movie about tonight. It's just powering John and I through the Fast Five to find that beer turned movie. So away we go.
And it is delicious. So, all right, folks, when Harrison is not doing research science on beers, he's also the wizard making our social media look like it's not managed by a drunk film student. So, show our favorite co host some love and follow us online. Beer Me That Movie on any social platform you can think of. Leave a comment, leave some beer emojis, something like that.
Yes, I would appreciate it. And for those of you who think typing is too mainstream, we have this fancy thing called SpeakPipe. We just heard Brian on it, where you can actually send us voice messages. Go to speakpipe.com/beermethatmovie. Just maybe, wait until after your beer tasting session to give us a call. Let the beer help you find your words.
As it does us and
Every
will
night.
in the next couple of minutes. Speaking of messages from potentially inebriated listeners, do we have a Fast Five submission that's going to make it for, what is this, Fast Five number 21, Harrison?
Oh boy, yes, it is. We do. And yes, once again this week, the listeners come through and are going to kick us off on a ridiculous note. We actually got a few, more than a few submissions. So thanks for everyone who keeps sending in the fun beers you're drinking. When you come across something silly and you think of us, it's really cool. We had more actually this past week than we've ever had.
Love hearing that.
So this made it extremely difficult to pick one, but I hope you'll all agree that the one we picked, it was kind of like we can't not pick this. As soon as I saw the name, I was like, I can't ignore this beer. This beer needs to be thrown in the spotlight. So
if it's called Santa Conspiracy, I'm walking out
that's right.
before we finish this.
John doesn't know what he's walked into.
But without further ado, let's roll and get into our 21st Fast Five.
All right, cool. So the one and only, the wind beneath our wings, Greg Davis has supplied this beer. He sent us a DM on Instagram, and I had to read the name of the beer a couple times because I didn't think I didn't think this could exist and was real. So the beer name it's from Gigantic Brewing, and it's called The Cat Ate My Stash and Pissed on the Xmas Tree. I think it's a Christmas tree officially, but yeah. So The Cat Ate My Stash and Pissed on the Christmas Tree by Gigantic Brewing, and that's a whole movie right there. But I saw this, and it was one of those beers, beer names, where it just kind of sat in my head, John, and I was like, oh, I can't stop thinking about this, and a movie kind of unraveled in my brain. But what are you thinking? What do you have when you see this?
I mean, of course, you want to go really artful and have no cats or weed or Christmas trees be part of this movie, but no, I can't see anything other than like a nerd, kind of hard on his luck, divorced man.
Okay.
Gets into weed to cope because it's cheaper than therapy and maybe even better. And then gets a cat because he's lonely.
Yeah,
and
of
so
course.
now the cat eats his weed. Cat's all fucked up on weed. Pisses all over the Christmas tree. Smells like Christmas. And it's like an hour before his custody kids are coming by for like their 30 minutes of Christmas with their father.
Right. I don't know if pleading the judge. The cat ate my stash and pissed on my
I
Christmas
got a
tree.
cat for
Will help. Right.
loneliness.
Will help. So I love that. I went a different, slightly different route. I mean, it's there are many of the same points. It's hard not to talk about the cat and the stash and the Christmas tree, but I saw this as that event, the cat eating the stash and then peeing on the Christmas tree, happening in the first, like, the credits rolling of this movie idea, where it opens on like four dude bros who are roommates partying out in the town, high fiving, beer bonging, jumping through tables,
Go
and,
Bills.
and buying drugs from a questionable person behind this bar. They get home, they're all hammered, they pass out. Cat jumps up on the counter, eats all the drugs, zonked out of its mind, pees on the tree. It short circuits the lights, freaks the cat out, runs under the couch, and passes out in a stoned stupor. And these next day, these four roommates wake up, and it becomes a whodunit where there's no who, or the cat's the who, where they start accusing each other of who stole my stash. You did, you did, you did. But they quickly maybe resolve that. And what the movie is almost like, do you remember, did you ever see The Man Who Knew Too Little with Bill Murray, which is a take on, he thinks he's in a show that like takes place in the real world.
I get a last request.
You mean like a cigarette or something?
I had something more substantial in mind.
But he's supposed to be a pretend spy and solve a mystery, and it's the theater of life in London. And what actually happens is he walks in the wrong door, encounters a real spy, and is now in a real international mystery where he's got to defuse a bomb before it blows up the prime minister of Russia or something. So anyway, but the whole movie, he has no idea that he's actually trying to save the world. It's a gem. It's underrated. But so it's something like that where they're all hunting for basically no one, but keep pulling a thread where it sends them. Okay, none of us stole it, but they look at their ring camera and there was a mysterious man in the backyard. So they try to find him, leads them to a bar where they discover that guy was here. He was the one who sold you the drugs. He came back and stole his own drugs. They find him. No, it was a misunderstanding. So it's this tour around town. Where it ends, I don't know. But it's kind of one of those fun kind of buddy comedy adventures. Think Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, but they're looking for drugs that are already gone. And maybe it ends with them hijacking Santa's sleigh to escape a gangster. I don't know, but it could go anywhere.
It's hard to go beyond hijacking Santa's sleigh to escape Denzel Washington.
Right.
It
right.
makes me also think of like The Hangover.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Crazy Night on the Town. I love this idea.
Yeah.
And effectively, it's like, I need to find my weed.
Right. And that's the other thing. The whole time they're like, right, they're freaking out.
They start sobering up.
Maybe, you're right. Maybe that also, I did have that thought to create some urgency of like, they bought the drugs because they're hosting the entire cheerleading team at their house tonight. And yeah, I've got tons of drugs. Come over. We'll have a blast. Oh my God, where's the stash? We got to find it before the 10:30 when the cheerleading bus drops everybody off. And so that's their mission, to somehow resecure some good times.
Ends with a
before it's too late.
cheerleader getting a weed hairball coughed up on her.
Right. They smoke the cat at the end. See, that's right. Someone lets the couch on fire by accident and get where the cat is hiding.
Whole thing happens in Springfield, Ohio.
Delicious. Breakfast, lunch, and desserts. Cat served all day.
The cat ate my stash and pissed on the Xmas tree. I mean, bravo for submitting that, Greg.
Yes, that was awesome. Bravo for Gigantic Brewing for making it. I guess it's a reference to a former brewer from Bell's too, or something. I think it said that in the check-in description. So I don't know what the backstory is.
Why
there.
is the Two-Hearted ready? I got a story for you.
You never believe what happened last night. Did your dog eat your homework? Not exactly. So yeah, that was a great one from Greg. Thank you, Greg, as always.
And now let's cut to the chase. You see the card pun. Time to see what beers are going to take the spotlight in our first Untapped check-in, brought to y'all by y'all.
One down, more to go.
So for beer number 2, we're going to stop on a check-in from Seth, who gives us a beer from Broadway Brewery.
Cool.
Called Bears Love Honey.
Bear. Yes, they do. I guess we're led to believe that because of Winnie the Pooh. do they really?
When I think of bears, my first thought is like they're gonna kill me.
Right. We've
So
covered bears well, flying bears. Yeah, we're on the
then,
record.
yeah, sure, honey. But I would imagine if it were like me and then like a jar of honey,
Yeah.
I'm the one that's gonna die.
Yeah, then they'll eat the
And
honey
then,
after they eat
yeah,
you.
bears might love honey after a good meal.
Washes down humans really well.
Plus, I got sugary diabetes blood. They're probably it's like a 2 for
They
1.
can smell you from a mile away. Right, that's right. Okay, well, we're not going to make a nature movie about bears, I don't think, but maybe we will. What else? What are some other bears in society, John? Can bears be a metaphor for something? Not the Chicago Bears.
I was
Not
just gonna say, there's a lot. Like you got your Chicago Bears, of course, and honey could be like the name of their quarterback or their 50th coach this
right.
decade.
Yes, exactly. Honey comes in and shakes it up. She's a 12-year-old
Coach
girl.
Honey.
Right. Oh my gosh.
I think you need to throw the ball, throw it better.
Believe in honey.
Best coach in the NFL. That's how it would work too.
Yep.
Then you also have strong gay men bears.
Oh yes.
Which would be a fun way to spin this as we get into the holiday spirit.
Sure. Lots of cuddling happening.
So it could be, I'm envisioning the first thing that comes to mind is like, it's definitely a Robin Williams movie.
Oh wow.
He's on like a little like can line somewhere, maybe not Miami, not San Francisco, but like Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay.
And,
we're going back down to the bayou.
The theme of the club is that like all these like hairy-chested gay men
Yes.
rub honey on themselves. And
that's the whole movie.
look, man, I don't work for Netflix.
Bears love not yet. Bears love honey. I like this. What would we call the honey hive, the honeysuckle, the honey cave,
hole.
honey hole.
Definitely
Son of
honey
a
hole.
gun.
Yeah.
I would have gotten there. All right, so we're down at the honey hole in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, watching a bunch of hairy bears cover themselves in honey. Bears love honey. I'm there. I can see it so clearly. I can smell it. It smells mostly like honey, thank God. But
A lot of Dracar Noir. Some CK1 for the younger
Yep.
bears.
So what happens? Why do these bears love this honey? Is it like some... Ooh, are they... Oh boy, my dumb brain. Are they, is there something in this honey, John? Are they like bewitched? Is that why do they really love it? Or is this ritual that happens every night trapping these bears in the honey hole?
Are you looking for a way to put a sexy witch into this movie?
And they encounter, right?
Oh, yeah. Actually, the owner of this club, that's Madeline.
Got it.
Yeah, she's owned the club for, I don't know, forever, for ages.
Maybe for 100 or 200
she's
or
the one that
300
gives us our
years.
honey. It's not Manuka, but it's some other special
something
kind.
else. She waves her hands over it and crunches up, looks like a bone into it, and then we just cover her bodies, not asking any questions, almost like we're under a trance. But it's a good job. And then some new bear shows up, dusty off the road, rolling out of a Greyhound bus with a hairy chest, the likes of which the world hasn't seen yet. Maybe the world's not even ready for.
Braided, some braids in there.
Oh, gets immediately drawn with his braided hairy chest to the honey hole. And takes center stage, but maybe he's resistant to the honey and that creates a rift, and it could be a whole metaphor for knowledge is power and looking beyond the veil and who's the wizard. I don't know.
Don't do drugs.
Do drugs.
Don't take
do
your honey
some
from
drugs,
witches.
right?
It could also, you could turn honey into like the makeup person, or like
Right.
honey could be a person that takes care of the bears in this club. And then we could bring in your
new bear,
your Danny Trejo bear, and he's hard on honey, and the bears are like, don't fuck with honey,
right?
And then it turns into like this big, like the whole city of Baton Rouge ends up being mostly gay men. Most of them are closeted. Welcome to America, but they all start coming out in support for honey or not in support for honey, and it turns into like this big Broadway gay bear dance fight
in the middle of the street in downtown Baton Rouge.
Finally, honey has to dance, and it's this magical.
She said she never would again. It used to be her club and her show, and that's why it was called the Honey Hole. And then times were tough, and the bears moved in, and Honey took a back seat and started just braiding people's chest hair, but now she gets to return to the spotlight and break the curse or something. I don't know. This is and retake her proper place in Baton Rouge history. This is this is something. I like a revolutionary gay man musical. Who doesn't? That sounds fun. It's been a while since Les Mis. Let's do another one. Let's do something bigger and merrier.
I don't know if we're the guys to build it, but I think as long as we can get away with spitting the idea out without getting it spit back in our face.
Well, yeah. It's nothing but love here and honey all the way down.
Love and honey.
Love and honey.
All right, so that's a tiptoey number 2. Beer number 3 gets weird. Let's see what it's going to be.
That's 2. You guys are thirsty.
Beer number 3. These are usually my favorite, but we'll see where this one goes. Checked in from Jason, made by Voodoo Brewing Company. This is called Where Our Secrets Go.
Ooh, where our secrets go?
Usually trusted confidant, maybe even a coworker you're trying to become friends with.
Hopefully they really go nowhere, though. I think that's when you tell a secret, you hope that's the end of the telling of the secret. But so often that's not the case.
It's almost like by definition, secrets can't exist. Like,
ooh, oh, my brain.
Right? Like,
it's that tree that falls in the forest, nobody around.
if you keep it inside, it's just anxiety. And if you share it with someone, it's not a secret.
With someone who's not a therapist, it's just a secret.
Secrets go to die is where they go.
Yeah.
But in order to try and have some fun with this one, I was thinking to expand on Harrison's belief that Santa is more like a Russian state agency spying on all of us.
100%.
Perhaps our secrets have something to do with the North Pole.
Oh.
And my initial thought is like, that's kind of how the naughty and nice list is made up. It's like,
yes.
Like I told my coworker that Harrison left a poop in the upper deck at work. Now,
from time to time.
Does that help get me a raise? Who knows? But is Santa listening?
Always.
And is that attributed to Harrison getting coal?
Right, getting on that naughty list. I see this. And also, you could even take it the other way. And if you're someone bragging about how good you are to people, I helped out a lady across the street. Denied. You're not on the good list, the nice list, because you're bragging about it. So even the good deeds, Santa only accepts the ones you don't really tell anybody about. The silent, helping the old neighbor across the street, taking out the garbage during the storm, all the thankless things. That's what gets you on the nice list. If you brag about it, you're out. And then, the naughty list, right? It's those things no one wants to.
I have this argument with my wife once a week. That, people don't do nice things for other people.
Right.
You do a nice thing, and you might do it at the benefit of someone else, but you do it because it makes you feel good, because it's a tax write-off.
Because hell might be real, and gosh, I don't think I want to go there.
You know what? Let me just offer to fill up that. You know what? I'll fill up your tank of gas. Have a good night.
It's a magical universe.
And then the trick is not telling anyone about it.
Right.
So that you get Santa credit.
Exactly. I like the Santa credit. This is amazing. And so and I'm even imagining his naughty and nice list isn't even a list of like boy and girl names. It's a list of all these secrets that are magically showing up on his list. And then when Billy so-and-so does enough nice things, then his name shows up. So it's this ancient magic that Santa's tapped into illegally because he's a state agent from an adversary of ours. And he's using this power to spy, I guess, pretty innocuously, although he does have everybody's secrets. I mean, he's the blackmail king. That's what people in the underground call Santa. The blackmail king. That's how their name.
Rudolph's just a pimp.
That's right. He has their weapons on his head. If you don't give Santa what he wants.
And since we've created this world where Santa's an adversary to America, and this list is ancient magic, we could probably go a step further and make it so like someone from the State Department needs to
Yes.
get their hands on this list
Yes.
because we think they've been selling state secrets, or we need to know what happened on Epstein's Island, and who knows for sure.
Yeah, what about that? I can see this. Some state, right, some low-level State Department employee is at a holiday party with his boss who he loves and walks into the family room, sees the fireplace, looks at the stocking. Is there coal in there? Must be a funny joke. Weird. Next week, that boss arrested for selling state secrets. And he starts to put it together of like, my gosh, that coal. He goes and asks his wife, who put the coal in Jacob's stocking? What coal? I didn't put anything in there. Pieces it together. Santa's real. Santa knew he was a spy. Put him on the naughty list, gave him coal, and so now they know this technology exists, and it's his mission to try and unlock this ancient magic so the State Department can use it to find spies.
The key to the presidency, right? You can just dismantle all your. I'd imagine no one in politics is not on Santa's list.
I was going to say, and then that's the other side of it is, right, someone in Congress learns that some kid is going to discover how to access the naughty list, and they all, right, light the building on fire to try to stop him. And it's a race to the North Pole to find where our secrets go. Well, Santa's just stuck in the middle. This is something. There's action, there's intrigue, there's no sexy nuns yet, but that again,
they're definitely going to help our young
nun.
state intern get to the North Pole. He's battling against like Air Force One and the whole government department trying to get up there to make sure Santa doesn't give this list away. Maybe he ends up becoming like Santa's little helper or something like that. They're like, look, you know too much, kid.
Or the next Santa just pushes Santa off, tries to save Santa. A true act of good, John. Jumps in front of a bullet to save Santa, and it immediately, Santa swaps his life with the kid's, and then the kid becomes essentially invisible, except for, I guess, the bullets that killed Santa. We'll figure all that out later.
Yeah.
But, and then uses that ancient magic to banish everyone from the North Pole, and then takes on the roles. It's like a Santa Claus, but a different take. That could be a possible ending. Good gracious. We really have the holiday spirit in us, John. We took that movie and weaved quite the tale.
Yeah,
like
didn't know we were going there, but I like where it went. It's fun trying to workshop. I mean, Christmas movies, you got A Christmas Story, you got Die Hard, you got An Angel Gets Its Wings, Wonderful Life, and then you just got a whole bunch of, hey, we wanted to make a movie, and, we got a couple $1 million. We'll just put hats on everyone.
Put some fake snow on the ground. Yeah, and we'll call it a day.
You don't have to try hard if you're making a Christmas movie. Not that we're not trying hard. We're
are.
going above and beyond.
That's right. We're going to the North Pole. We're battling things. It's going to be great. So where our secrets go. All right, that's pretty solid. Beer number 3.
Let's see what's coming up next.
3 down. We're probably halfway done already.
Beer number 4 comes from Tim E., not Timmy, who's got a great photo of some destroyed chicken wings at the Dirty Bird. Tim's checking into a beer made by Brewdog USA called Winter Staycation.
Winter Staycation. It almost feels like the dollar store version of Christmas Vacation. Winter Staycation. I dig this. I've been doing these for years.
Yeah, I feel like more and more, or maybe it's just my getting older, but Christmas Vacation actually has never been a thing in my life other than time off of grade school.
Right.
But like we never traveled much, so Christmas staycation or winter staycation is actually pretty normal.
I like that. And yeah.
Maybe it could be like a lonely single person that's stuck spending Christmas alone.
Right, just eating Chinese food, going to the movies. That's sad.
It's not a movie. That's just every blog.
I learned a lot about myself as I stared at that wonton trip.
How do you have so much time to write up a recipe for Christmas cookies that's that fucking long? Well, I'll tell you why. For 3 days I was home alone for Christmas.
Right.
It could also be somehow we could work in, the idea I have is it's a couple, maybe a small family booked a Christmas Airbnb.
Okay.
They book it early because the rates go up for Christmas.
Of course.
But like they were going to do Christmas with the family, maybe like meet in the middle so the whole family doesn't have to travel so far.
Got it.
And they got this, say like the weekend before Christmas, and then terrible snowfall happens. So now
course.
they're stuck in this Airbnb trying to figure out if they're going to have to pay extra because they can't leave.
Okay. I like that. So they're snowed in, stuck, kind of screwed. Internet goes out, can't contact the host. They're longer than they should be. They know that, but again, kind of trapped, snowed in, if you will. And yes, this is good. It could even start to get into Christmas Eve, and what do they hear? A clattering on the rooftop, John, and get
Oh, yeah.
get a visit from everyone's favorite Russian spy.
Maybe there's not even, I love that we've made Santa evil. So maybe there's not even kids. Maybe there's like one kid that got stuck here who's like the firstborn in the family.
Got
But so Santa shows up, comes down the chimney. We're all like, they're all, maybe there's someone's awake, and Santa comes down the chimney, and they're like playing Cards Against Humanity, drinking their last box of wine. And he's like, Santa just opens the chimney up and says,
Right.
"Who the fuck are you?"
They go, Santa?
This is supposed to be booked by the Steiner family. You're not the Steiner family. What the hell are you doing here?
Yes.
And it turns into this kind of escapade of Santa's pissed that he messed up his schedule. They're not supposed to be here. And since it beer me that movie, I want him to get actually like angry, where he starts threatening violence if these people don't produce. I've already been to your house. You don't get 2 Christmases.
Exactly. You just hear the chatter on Santa's radio. Like, oh shit! Like, you guys, like, I have quotas to hit. I'm not a free man. Like, you hear that? That's my ass sent to Serbia. There's no North Pole there. There's no hot cocoa in Serbia when I'm chiseling rocks to turn into license plates. Like, I need to get this night done, and you're in the wrong place.
Love this
And the
evil
Steiners
Santa.
are in the wrong place. Right, so he starts freaking out because exactly, maybe we learn that he's a Russian spy, but not by choice. He's been imprisoned
Like
by
so many.
Right, by everyone, I think.
How do you join the Russian spies? They tell you.
You don't, right? You have no choice.
You are now Santa Claus for Americas. He slams down like a bottle of vodka, breaks it over the plate of cookies.
Yep.
The kid's like, maybe we should go get mom. Yes, go get mother and papa. The kids, and then it could turn into like almost like Home Alone, where the family's like hiding in this giant house. Santa's trying to find them. He doesn't know about Airbnb. He's just trying to figure out where these fucking family is so he can hit his checkbox and move to the next house.
That's right. And so it's them trying to evade Santa, and ends, of course, with them racing to the roof, the family and Santa, to get into Santa's sleigh, because it's the only escape from this storm is his magical sleigh. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens, see who makes it out of there, and if Santa gets stranded. And this family accidentally ruins Christmas, but also takes out one of the most dangerous Russian spies since Carlos Ilyich Ramirez Sanchez, the Jackal. Santa Claus.
Was this winter staycation? I mean, I don't know. We don't have to know how it ends. It's just Fast Five premise, but on the surface, overstayed an Airbnb. Santa shows up. He's not the nice guy you expected him to be.
Bingo. Yep, I like that.
Also, you're probably getting a large bill from Airbnb.
You absolutely are. I mean, this house is going to get trashed. Forget about micro machines. I mean, they're going to be blowing up toilets and making a flamethrower out of the oven and doing all kinds of stuff to try to take down this Santa Claus who has weapons of his own. That could be a fun time. Good music, good Christmas
Santa
carols.
played by Gary Busey.
Oh my goodness.
Does that make it more real for you?
Stick up on the left. No, his bad eyes. Good eyes on the right. Take him from the left, son. Exactly right. It's not he's limping the whole time, but it's an act. And he reveals that right at the end. Oh my God, I thought you were wounded. Nope. Pain don't hurt. That would be amazing to have Gary Busey do anything. And yes, he'd be a great no beard, no beard for whatever reason. Just
not jolly, not fat.
Exactly. Just there,
kind of strung
just
out,
pissed off,
keeps wiping his nose,
real tired, snowed in. I'll show you snowed in. I can run through that fucking wall if you let me.
Was that Red Bull? Give me that. But Santa,
Right, puts it down his pants and blasts his suppository. What's happening, Mom?
Santa dies in front of this kid immediately. Not literally, but all his visions of Santa are gone now.
Santa's real and addicted to Red Bull in the butt? Well, you're a man now.
Oh, happy Christmas, everyone.
I mean, yeah, who hasn't been there? All right, good, great.
All right, let's see if we can do something real with beer number 5.
We're already at 4 movie ideas from beer names.
Okay, so for our 5th and final Fast
Wow.
5 beer of 2024,
Holy guacamole.
we could not scroll past this one.
Yeah.
Checked in just 2 hours ago at the time of recording from Chad, who's been a friend of ours forever. Go Bills.
Go Bills, Chad.
This beer is made by Abomination. They've been on the podcast before.
Great stuff.
And as you can probably see if you're watching on the screen, the beer is actually called 2024.
2024.
Well, I mean, it's the last one. What better beer? So now we got to come up with a movie idea for it.
Right. And I
Which
think, yeah.
perfectly, it's a girl named 2024.
Right. We've walked away from names. The future's here that have words in them. Now everyone just got a number. And this is Smoking Hot 2024. Yeah. Okay. That is the thing. I don't think we can.
I'm glad you can help me.
I don't think we can do that. But I like the sentiment, and I think actually Abomination does one of these every year, which is kind of fun. If I remember correctly. Maybe not. Maybe it was special just to this year. Let me know if I'm wrong. But for Fuck 2024, I think what we can do some kind of. I mean, obviously the first thing that after having sex with some lady named after a number is a time travel movie. Like, if you hate something, what do? You could crawl into a pit and cry until you poop your pants, or try to do something about it. But that's a shitty thing about time, and it kind of only goes in one direction. Or does it, John?
Well, if I know anything about movies, time is a flat circle. And I think, I think there's a way we could do this with, I mean, if time travel existed, we'd have invented it by now, because
Exactly
every living person has done something where they're like, oh my God, if I would give anything to go back and do it. So because it doesn't, we would know if time travel existed.
Yeah.
You could be safe and say that it's actually going to be impossible for someone to create, unless it's a Beer Me That movie.
That's right.
So
Or anything's possible.
we could take it right on the nose. Like 2024 was a bad year for a lot of people.
Yes.
You could be political about it. You could be financial about it.
Yep.
You could be sports themed about it.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of people were not thrilled about 2024, except for the people who made money on eggs. So
Right, all those rich chickens. Hope the bird flu takes you all out.
I think that's why eggs got so expensive. But
That's right. Be careful what you wish for. So I like this. You're right. And for us, I think you're right. It's easy to go big, but most of the movies we make, it starts small. That's what makes them interesting. So instead of making some large proclamation, I think this movie can be all about some guy or lady, doesn't matter, who had a really crappy year personally and, right, nationally, internationally, financially. But I'm talking about losing the job, his childhood dog finally dies, the girlfriend walks out on him, his car craps the bed, his
starting quarterback gets injured reserve for at least a year.
Yep, all these extremely important, crucial
White
things.
shoes get irreversibly scuffed up.
He becomes allergic to eggs.
Oh God.
So the world's punching him right in the nuts again and again. And yes, everyone's having a bad year, but he's kind of sitting there maybe on New Year's Eve hearing people complain about why it's bad for them. And he's just filled with this like anger of like, bad for you. You're complaining about stubbing your toe and you lost your purse. These aren't bad. Like, you guys had it easy. I had the worst year ever. And so does he try to make a time machine? Does he discover as one does, like a magical janitor with a special mop that promises him some answers, and he interprets it as,
Why are
gosh,
you
is this
mopping the carpet,
right,
janitor
exactly, you
Bill?
asshole.
It's my magic mop.
Are you drunk again? Right, it's a magic mop.
I knew something was up with that
You've
mop the minute I saw him
drinking
mopping the
mop
carpet.
water, right? But so yeah, he's kind of given this choice, or creates this machine, and he thinks, he's like, oh, I get to go back and I get to make my life better. This is a great opportunity. I'm going to do it. But let's put a twist in here. Instead of it being a time machine, maybe it's like an alternate reality machine. So he gets to
the multiverse comes
right.
in.
The multiverse jumps right in, as I feel like it
and
has
he
to in
doesn't-
every movie.
because he's desperate, right? Like anyone in his
Yeah,
situation
right.
would. I mean, that's how Home
Exactly.
Shopping Network exists. There's a lot of culty things that prey on people like this. So it wouldn't take much more than a traveling witch.
Yeah.
Just be like, I hear you're looking for some change. I have this thing that's kind of like a time machine. I'll sell
Right,
it to you
right.
for the promise of your eternal soul.
Right. That's all.
Yes, whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to get not allergic to eggs again.
Right. I'm dying here. I can't eat until noon. My blood sugar's all over the place. Right. So he takes this ultimatum, or thinks he's traveling back in time, but in reality, he could maybe even just jump to like that day, but in the other timeline, maybe he goes back in time and jumps through timelines. We can figure this out if we feature film it. And he gets kind of sees the world where he doesn't lose all the things he's lost. And I think the point of the movie, what kind of is unraveled, is like, the girlfriend maybe was cheating on him. His job was illegally buying supplies from some sweatshop in China and involved in a huge
Set
scandal.
up to take an Enron fall,
Right,
like sort of.
exactly. Eggs cost a lot of money, so good dodge there on being allergic to eggs. Like the kind of things he thought he lost was just part of life, and that'd be the happy-go-lucky takeaway of like, maybe he didn't lose much. You just kind of, part of living is losing things, and the wise witch janitor with the magic mop, that's the message that they get, and somehow, runs into his self in that timeline, has to, that fun scene of them looking at each other and touching our faces, and you're me, I'm you.
Doing the mirror thing.
Yeah, doing the mirror thing.
I like
swapping girlfriends, and then right.
I love, well, we probably have to self-fund this if we were going to make a movie
Sure.
called Fuck 2024, but
We might have a
Maybe
lot
not.
of people who want to donate to
maybe not exactly. It'd be the quickest funded movie.
it.
But I really love the way you tied that up. Like maybe it's alternate universes. He doesn't quite know, but he sees, like you said, his girlfriend's actually been cheating on him. So while that
Yeah.
hurts, it really wasn't all that bad that she's not part of his life anymore. And he starts to realize, like, eventually he realizes that he's now stuck in these alternate realities where maybe like this one, his mom died at birth, and this one,
Ooh, okay.
eggs are actually just rocks, and no one's
Right.
ever been able
No
to
one's-
cook one.
That thing comes out as a chicken butt. Are you crazy, kid?
And eventually he's
Chicken
like,
poop.
shit, what I wouldn't give to get back to that shitty 2024.
Right.
So then he's like traveling through these universes trying to find that witch again, to go back
Oh.
to. So not to say that your 2024s weren't worth being upset over,
Sure.
but maybe if you experienced alternate universes that were all
Yeah.
marginally worse or a lot worse,
Yeah, right.
you'd realize, like, you know what, like I still have some of the things that are important to me,
Right.
and I could spend time
Yeah,
on that.
Be grateful about that. He's like, well, 900 of them and just had Cthulhu killing everyone. We really fuck up most of the time. We're just dead and eating each other in the streets.
Thousands were still cavemen, were monkey people.
That's right.
They were hot blonde, but they were monkeys. So
It felt weird for me personally. I may have stayed there a little longer than I should have.
yeah,
I think I know how Bigfoot came to be. Maybe I created him.
no Kleenex, but everybody else was doing it.
Right. Wasn't wrong, right? I just went in Rome, which they wouldn't ever
That was
build.
Rome, yeah.
That was their Rome.
Their
Just a bunch of
Colosseum
poop
was just
stuck-
made of sticks.
poop. Just piled high as the eye could see. They didn't know what to do with it.
The 7 poop hills of chimpanzee Rome. Man, what I wouldn't give just to go back to like The shitty New York Knicks again.
Right, exactly. I'll take it. I'll take blown ACLs and dead dogs all day. I want to go back to that place. It smelled horrible. But there was something sexy about those blonde chimpanzees. Let me
I mean,
tell
worst
you.
case, I go back to number 24. I could be king.
Right, exactly right. They were amazed by me.
No laws. It was basically just whoever's strongest wins.
That's right. No laws, no clothes.
Yeah.
And lots of poop. That, I mean, that's a movie and a half right there. The multiverse coming into play, which I think it is already. So okay, I like that. No to how horrible the year was, but yes, like you said, it can always get worse, folks. So
True.
Count whatever blessings you may have.
Yeah, exactly. 2025 is still coming.
It's coming in fast and hot. It looks like a fucking dumpster fire.
How do we get to the monkey?
Can you take me? How do I get this? Give me that mop. Give me that mop. Get out of here. Take me back. Take me back.
Okay, so yeah, we made it through our last Fast Five of the year. That's 21 of them.
Wow.
39 Beer Me That Movie episodes, and we've still got to come up with our last feature of the year, Harrison.
That's right.
Do you think we just dive into one of these, or do you want to pull up a Harry ultimatum?
Oh, I think we need, as is tradition, let's do at least one ultimatum to get some bonus Fast Five in here to end the year right, and then we're gonna pick one of these gems.
Love it.
Turn into a feature.
End on a high note.
And that's 5 of 5 beers. But we'll throw in a bonus idea.
So for tonight's ultimatum, we've got a beer checked in by April, made by Swella's Brewing Company. Harrison, you told me about this brewery not too long ago, right?
Yes. The Swells. So they won a bunch of medals at the North Carolina Brewers Guild awards they have once a year, and I'd heard about them, but I was actually at that awards luckily, drinking lots of great beer, and they kept winning. Their name kept getting announced again and again, and they went from like, oh, that's good for them, to wait a second, I gotta drink these guys beer. They keep just winning. I think they won double IPA, which is a hard one to get
in North
obviously,
Carolina,
right?
Yeah.
And a couple others, funny names. So yeah, these guys are sweet. And I want to drink more of their beer. I enjoyed some while I was there. Their Pilsner was great. But want to get more. So happy we stumbled across one.
Speaking of funny names, this one is called Bill's Banana Hammock.
Heyo, banana hammock.
Banana Hammock.
Couldn't say no with the banana. It felt very serendipitous.
Started on a banana whale, ended on a banana hammock, like so many
weekends
in Mexico.
That's right. It's cheap to get there, but it's expensive to leave. I have a whole family down there now. All right. So cautionary tales aside, this is a ridiculous name, and it really demands a ridiculous movie to match it. Bill's Banana Hammock. So we're all familiar with banana hammocks, right?
Hopefully.
AKA Speedos or thongs or whatever to call it.
It's what you wear when you listen to this podcast.
This is not the thing you put your bananas in the kitchen. Maybe it is, but then you've got a kitchen I don't want to eat a banana in.
Actually, that'd be a good, if you marketed it that way.
It's the banana hammock.
The banana hammock you can show your mother.
Your bananas here. Oh boy, that's something. So, all right, what the heck can we make with this thing? Because we need to craft a movie out of it, but I feel like it's just an infomercial that never happened. But we can do more.
So I want to make it about the Buffalo Bills banana hammock.
Too. That's what I saw, right? Just a bunch of men in a locker room passing around the same pair of underwear. But that sounds like we can't make that
whoever
movie.
wears the hammock scores 2 touchdowns. It's a Bills tradition.
Right. Not on your head, Bob. Oh, boy. Take him to the medical tent. Spray him down.
No, we haven't cleaned it since the Jim Kelly days.
That's the whole thing. You definitely have laryngitis.
That banana hammock was in the Super Bowl.
You're lucky.
Oh, and it
Super
still
Bowl
smells
or
like
Super
Dallas.
Bowl?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
So I like where we're going. I think this is our opportunity to make kind of a Christmas sex comedy, which I don't
we've been
think that's
hunting
a
for.
popular genre.
Not yet. After tonight.
So here's the pitch.
All right, I'm ready.
Here's my meet Harrison in an elevator. He's a successful film producer with no allegations
So they know
against
about
him.
yet, right?
And I say, hey, I want to make a movie about kind of Christmas and sex. It's about a divorced man named
Yep.
Bill.
Good.
He gets a Secret Santa present, and it's a banana hammock. And the
Mm.
movie is called Bill's Banana Hammock.
I love banana hammocks. Tell me more.
I knew I
young
pitched the right
boy.
guy. I knew I pitched the right guy.
Long elevator. What do you got?
The idea, what makes this movie a family Christmas tradition is the banana hammock is a magical item that's cursed.
Yes, I'm in.
And it grants wishes.
Okay.
While you're wearing the hammock, you can make a wish and it'll come true. Sounds
Oh.
great, right? Wouldn't you like one?
I'd love one of those.
However,
Oh crap! Here it is. I
every
fell
time
for
your
it.
wish comes true, your penis shrinks by 1 inch.
Oh, a negative penis after one wish. One less thing to worry about. Okay, that's terrifying. That's the a tricky. Right, I've got about 3 wishes before I have a real problem.
At least peeing is going to be
I was
harder.
gonna say it'll just be different. I'll figure it out.
It's like pouring from a bucket.
Sitting on my golden toilet that I wish for and wish won. So okay, but I like this. I like this for so many reasons. It's ridiculous. Bananas are involved. We've got wishes, but they come at a cost. Yeah, forget about costs your soul. Yeah, whatever. I'm dead. Take it. Well, I'm alive though. Please, nothing happened to my penis. Yeah, here we are, having to make a choice as old as time. Do I get the riches, endless riches, or am I gonna have no more wang? Maybe
And
you
there's
get both.
like, you know how when you get clothing items, there's that tag that's always irritating.
Yes.
That is on the banana hammock as well, and it stands out because
Okay.
it's relatively it's not a big piece of clothing.
Sure.
But the tag sticks out and it says like asterisk, you cannot wish for a bigger penis.
Of course. Yep. That's everyone tries that this year.
Yep. And yep.
Damn
Maybe
it.
you don't get your wish, maybe it doesn't shrink, but it just beeps. I like that. Kind of vibrates really
Right.
quick.
I
Oh,
kind of like it.
bigger penis, bigger penis, bigger penis. What are you doing, Bill? So I think
It's
the
just
movie is
so
kind of, he's trying to get his family back together. He's like,
Okay.
he's not the divorced dad from The Cat Ate My Stash and Pissed on My Xmas Tree.
Right.
He like something happened. Maybe he's trying to make amends. He wants to get back together with his
Yes.
family.
A Mrs. Doubtfire type divorce. Got
Precisely,
It.
yes.
Got it.
And he's a pretty good dad. So I think you see the banana hammock as a gift. Maybe it looks like there's new love happening. This is like a work Christmas Santa or something.
Got it.
And he gets that. Maybe it's an accident, but he's like, oh, maybe Janice is starting to like me. Maybe that's where I end up going. Okay, whatever. But throws a hammock away, and he's like Christmas shopping the next day, and feels like Aunt Annie's messes up his pretzel order, and it's like, God, man, I just wish I could feel like a winner for once. And then instantly he's like in that fountain in the mall. This is filmed in the 90s, of
Yes,
course,
of
because it doesn't
course.
exist anymore. He's inside the fountain. People are throwing coins at him. There's a Christmas flash mob. Everyone's like,
Yes.
yeah, they're throwing money at him. He feels like a winner. He realizes he's wearing the banana hammock, though,
That's
and
it.
nothing else.
Yep.
His wish came true. And so then as the audience, you learn, oh, he maybe has access to like 3 wishes or something.
Right.
We keep going with the movie, and somehow the curse comes up where he's like,
Oh my God.
is it permanently
Something
cold?
Feels different in here. Right. I tried to itch and there was nothing to itch.
I think the hammock is like causing
Right,
things
that's
to
what's happening. It's
get
the
pushed
hammock.
in.
It's just constricting for some reason. Right. Writes it off for wish 1 and 2, and then wish 3. He's like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, Bill will have to start as a pretty above average male.
Right. Right.
Maybe that'll even be like come up in like the divorce arguments. It's a sex comedy. It was like,
Yes,
I can't. He
exactly.
always wants to go all the way, and I just can't do it. I
can't
just
do
need a
it.
man that's regular size.
Right, exactly. Bill's too much. He's always been too much. Too much in the bedroom, too much out of the bedroom. And maybe a Bill suffering, right, has an unrealistic, the most ridiculous life. Oh, he's too well endowed. Your Honor. Okay, so this is fun. I think we can do with this. I mean, and really like, I can see more of this, right? Of him. I like that he's a good guy trying to get his family back, but then Hammett kind of lands in his lap, and now right, he's got that like impossible decision of like, well, I may lose some of the power in my package, but maybe I can use it to get my family back. And he tries to, but he can't just wish for that because that's also probably, free will, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But what can he do to right some wrongs? And then kind of becomes like the Liar Liar movie and a couple other classics from the 90s where right he's gotta he tries to use his hammock for good. Maybe that's not what it's built for, though. Maybe that could be a fun kind of undertone to this whole thing. Is it's a sex comedy, it's a banana hammock, it's gonna skew like raunchy, so if he asks for like something that could be misconstrued,
Yes.
he gets the thing
Whenever he
the
gets his wish, he's
R-rated
just
thing.
wearing the banana hammock and
Right.
nothing else as
Right.
well.
It's
So he
like,
can't just be like, I wish my wife was here.
right. Right, exactly. I wish I could leave this church. Oh God, I'm sorry, Father.
I like the raunchy play on, because that's like, I think it's a common trope that be careful what you wish for, because a genie will kind of give you a 10-inch pianist.
Right, there we go. Exactly. Right.
So in this case, the genie is just like a 13-year-old boy.
Right, exactly. And you do ask for the 10-inch penis, and just like a huge dildo falls from the sky and hits you in the head. You're
Yep.
like, God, that's not what am I supposed to do with this? To be more specific.
Don't give it to your
enunciate.
ex-wife.
Right, exactly. That's not where your problem lies. It's outside of the bedroom. Yeah, so there's could be some wisdom in the banana hammock for Bill. And yeah, the goal will be to make it a sex comedy, but also like a feel-good family movie. Can we do both?
Oh, definitely. It's 2024.
I guess so. So we can get colorful with some pasties and some Austin Powers like artful fruit placements to block out certain things if we need to.
Yep, like the shadow screen in Austin Powers.
Right.
Only in this case, it's not a baby holding an apple. It's a
Right,
baby
it's-
pointing its pinky out and then folding it in half.
Oh, the power of the banana hammock. All right, so I like this. We don't have everything yet, but we have enough for me to feel good about it being considered for the Fast Five, and almost wanted to roll the dice on this thing. I mean, it's hard to again say no to something with banana in the name.
I
It's my
kind of like
kryptonite.
it. I like the banana. That sells me because we had so much fun with Banana Whale. I like that it was a Christmas themed movie that wasn't like Santa turning into a Russian
Right,
murderer.
which is fun, but
Um,
not on the too on the nose, maybe.
I mean, recapping, going backwards,
Yeah.
we have 2024. I'm gonna have to
Okay.
bleep out so much.
I know.
Winter Staycation, the Airbnb gone wrong, Where Our Secrets Go, the Santa secret knowing political murder,
Movie.
Bears Love Honey,
Ah.
yeah, Gay Bear Club in Louisiana,
The honey hole.
and The Cat Ate My Stash and Pissed on My Christmas Tree, which was a good start,
I
but
love that one.
it just kind of always happens right after we hit an ultimatum, and it seems like it's got some legs. But I can put Bill's banana hammock in my stocking.
It's already there, John. I found the real thing. I like it too. I say we do it. It's almost too good. Even though fuck 2024 would be fun to end the year with and do another great Abomination beer. We've done a fair amount of theirs. Why not throw some banana love at Swelza and do Bill's banana hammock? Should that be the one as our final feature of 2024, John?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it easy. Let's end the year easy, because Lord knows what's coming.
That's
We
right.
don't have to overcomplicate it. I think we got a good one
We
here.
need our strength for the dumpster fire that comes next. All right, so John and I get to work on Bill's banana hammock. You'll see that next week. Keep an eye out for Not Takes and Podception. Those are coming too.
Yeah, Podception is going to run on Christmas and New Year's Day for us. We won't be
Hey-o.
releasing John and Harrison new episodes, but
Right.
you'll get to hear robots critique us.
That's right. Me as a lady. It'll be awesome. I love my AI self. So until next week, We're gonna get busy. You guys, you know what to do.
Peace.
Punch.
Give me your lunch.
Give me your banana hammock.
And your milk and cookies.